My partner and I moved our family to Hamden in 2008. We chose Hamden because it was halfway between our jobs, it had a diverse population, and relatively good schools. We thought Hamden would be a good place to raise our children, so we bought a house and settled in. But after living in Hamden just a little while, I realized that yes, Black and brown people lived in Hamden, but Hamden was run like a whites-only club. This is a story about regular people running for office and using the power of the ballot to build a beloved community.
You can't make an argument, as so many Americans love to make, that young people start off on equal footing if you're not giving them the opportunity to have equity in education. Because basically what you're saying is whatever your parents can afford to give you is all you deserve to have. I'm like, well, that's not fair, right? It shouldn't matter what my parents did. If you're saying that everyone has the opportunity to achieve their dreams, what is it? Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, then I should be able to start at kindergarten right where all the white girls in my state start off, right?
Hamden, Connecticut is a New England town about 85 miles north of New York City. It's the 12th most populated city in Connecticut, with a population of about 61,000, 53% white, 25% Black, 12% Hispanic, and 10% other ethnicities. The median income is about $79,000, and about 5.5% of Hamden families live in poverty.
Thomas's house is right here.
Go walk this way.
So this is Thomas's house.
This one here?
Yes. Thomas and I, Saturdays for us was wrestling, and then we would go out and get like these cold subs or hot subs from one of the locations over there. Then we would come back, and all day we would do is just watch wrestling and play video games. And it just filled the day. And then walk myself right on over there, brush my teeth, go to bed, and wake back up. And the next day I'm right back over here again. Never was there, Evans, why are you always here? Never. Always just, everybody's mom always just kind of took me in and just allowed me to be a part of their whole family. It was just amazing. Did you feel a sense of community? I did. I didn't really know what community meant, but they did. As adults, they knew.
You go to one side of town, everybody's white, everybody's very well off financially. And then you go to another part of town, and there's like almost no white people. And you have a lot of people who are struggling. It's just very shocking to go just 10 minutes up the road one way and have it be a completely different area.
I'm a state representative for the 94th District, which represents Hamden and New Haven. The idea of Southern Hamden and Northern Hamden disturbs me, and I can tell you when I first ran for this seat, I was told, oh, you're gonna be representing Upper New Haven? I'm like, excuse me? They didn't even wanna call it Hamden. It was Upper New Haven. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be representing Southern Hamden, but it's all Hamden. And I think it's evident in what we have access to in Southern Hamden versus what folks in Northern Hamden have access to, and that's from shopping to grocery stores to schools to crime, and there is a distinct difference.
Everybody gets their streets done over. I've been here since 2001. You've never repaired my street. And you need to fix some drain pipes that's underground. You fix some other places, but you haven't repaired the ones here in South Hamden on my street. And that's not okay.
We have a distinct class divide in Hamden. I remember when I was walking around campaigning, I think it's Arch Street that crosses over Fitch. Mostly people of color are in that area. And walking on the street, you get really granular with everything that's on the ground and everything around you. And it's dirty. When you've been to other parts of Hamden, you realize that there's more care taken. for those areas, it appears shallow, but the way a place looks matters in how people feel comfortable about being there and how people feel about maintaining it.
As more people of color have moved to Hamden, I find that we try to keep them in one area. And I was at one meeting and I asked, why were you looking at South Hamden to put in more subsidized housing? Why not spread it all over Hamden?
I've been in affordable housing almost 30 years now. And as a regulatory agent, I know the rising cost of rentals and the rising cost of rents and the rising cost of purchase. You can't spend your last dollar on housing. When we get to these situations where towns have been fiscally mismanaged for decades, you drive people who are already on the edge of poverty deeper into poverty, making their situations more desperate. And then when we get into situations of crime, nobody wants to hear about it. When you lose your housing, you reach a whole new level of desperation, especially when they have kids.
We have criminalized poverty and what that impact has had on our community. We've been marginalized and disenfranchised in a way that has us financially strapped and some people financially destitute. How are we going to make sure that we are lifting people out of poverty and putting them on a trajectory and a pathway for prosperity?
I thought it was so significant when I was first elected as an at-large position from the 3rd District. I thought that was amazing. I was so happy to tout that we had more representation on our side of town, that we had someone who was in one of those at-large seats that could speak up for what we needed in the 3rd District and its neighboring districts in Southern Hamden. And then to be asked to throw my hat in the ring as a president and then be elected as president, I said, we are in the room.
I believe that art transforms community, and it's so important to have it. People need to express themselves, and they need to look at beautiful things. Doesn't it make you feel happy and it's just joyful? I was hoping this town, Hamden, that they put more art because it does transform communities.
To be in Hamden my entire life and live as a Black woman here in town, it just felt like this is as good as it gets. I should expect to be stopped by the police. I should expect to experience racism in some of these schools. I should expect less resources on the southern part of town. But now that I'm a legislator here, I understand there's a lot of things that we could do. There's opportunity that folks have been trying to bring to all the residents, but they have been tampered down or called radicals, too progressive. And the fact of the matter is, moderates versus progressives, when it comes down to it, don't we all want equality?
It's time for the quiet storm. So try to sit back, relax, and recharge while you can, because all hell is about to break loose.